Today we're going to solve an equation, and this equation is a little bit more complicated. We have some steps that we're going to have to follow in order to solve this equation. So we're going to look first at each side of the equation in isolation. So the first side of the equation is 3 times, and then in brackets 7 plus 2x. On the other side of the equation we have 30 plus 7 times, again in brackets, x minus 1. So we're going to use the distributive law first to get rid of our brackets, and we're going to multiply. So 3 times 7 is 21, and 3 times 2x is going to give us a 6x. That simplified one side of the equation. On the other side we have a 30. We are going to add 7 times x, which is a 7x, and then 7 times a negative 1, which gives us a negative 7. Okay, so now we've used the distributive law, we've gotten rid of our brackets. We have to look at each side of the equation to see if there's anything that we can do to further simplify. On the one side of the equation we have 21 plus 6x. Not much we can do there. We're going to put our equals directly underneath the other equal sign. On this side of the equation we have a 30, a positive 7x, and a negative 7. So we actually have two terms that we can combine on this side of the equation. A 30 and a negative 7 is going to give us a 23. We still have 7x on this side of the equation, and we're left with 21 plus 6x on this side of the equation. Now, there's nothing we can do on either side by itself, so we're going to have to look at using the addition principle and our multiplication principle across the equal sign. Always starting with our addition principle, we're going to look. We have x's on both sides and we have numbers without variables. Generally, I choose to work with my variables first because then I know where it's going to be. So I have a 6x and a 7x. I'm going to take the 6x from one side of the equation and then from the other side of the equation, and that will combine my terms, and so they will end up on one side of the equation. So I have a 21 left on this side, because 6x minus 6x is going to give us a 0. We have 23 on this side of the equation, and a 7 minus x minus 6x gives us an x, or a 1x. Now, I need to keep my equal sign right underneath. I'm now going to solve for x. Using my addition principle, I've got to keep my x on this side. In order to isolate it, I need to get rid of that 23 by using an opposite, which is a negative 23. I can do the same thing on the other side of the equation, and 21 minus 23 gives us a negative 2. And x is equal to a negative 2. I can actually substitute this value for x back into the equation, and we can say that 3 times 7 plus 2 times x, 2 times x is going to be 2 times a negative 2 equals 30 plus 7 times, again, a negative 2 minus 1. So we have 2 times negative 2. We have to do our multiplication first. Gives us a negative 4. And a 7 minus 4 is going to leave us with a 3 times 3. On this side of the equation, we have a 9. We've got to make sure it's going to work on this side of the equation. We have a 30 plus, inside the brackets we have a negative 2 and negative 1 is a negative 3 times 7, which is going to give us a negative 21. So 30 plus negative 21 is also going to be 9. 9 equals 9, and the equation is solved.